So I think you've all had a copy of the annual report, and that's highlighted all the work that's continued at the Food Hub over the year and the different people that have been supported in a variety of different ways. And of course there's many aspects to make sure that the Food Hub can continue in operation, and one of them is finance, which is my area. So we'll just take a few minutes to review what's happened from that perspective. In the annual report, it was on page 6, the formal income and expenditure account. And if we look at the income, we continue to be grateful to all the members who give us regular financial support and one-off support. And the majority of the income does come from quite a number of individuals. I forgot to check how many, but let's just say it's lots. Very technical, lots. Who give, lots of people do give regularly each month, perhaps fairly small amounts, but of course it all adds up over the course of the year. And from time to time we do have other one-off donations from local organisations or churches or individuals. Our cash income was slightly lower than in the previous year, but that's not unexpected. It's been seen in other charities as well, given current economic climate. So the accounts do also show a figure for the food donations received during the year. So we've got 128,000 in there. So the items that are donated are all logged into stock, and Brian calculates an average price for each item to come up with the value of the items that we've received during the year. So for accounting purposes we do show that figure. That's not cash, the 128,000. That's an estimate of the value of all the food items that have been donated during the year. And then we show a figure underneath for the value of the items that we've given away. So as we've mentioned elsewhere in the report, the trustees have decided to continue the support of our partner organisations during the year, and that's shown as the grant expenditure in the accounts, and there's a breakdown in Trevor's report of the amounts given to each organisation. And partly because of that money given away, it meant our expenditure was slightly more than our income during the year, but that was the intention, as we did have quite a lot of reserves. I've just realised in the final version of the print, a line has fallen off.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I think even when I looked at the PDF version, this hadn't happened. So in the right at the bottom of this grey patch, it says reconciliation of funds brought forward, and there's no carry forward. It was there.
No.
Sorry about that. Okay.
We all checked it a number of times. It was there. We have carried forward a number. It's slightly smaller than the number we brought forward. It's 15,000 smaller than 192. So we do still have quite substantial reserves to carry forward into the next year. We have had to spend a bit more cash during this year on purchasing some food in the period, and also after the year end in some of the areas where our stock's been low, but this is at manageable levels. And so, in summary, we are grateful to all our supporters for their generosity in terms of cash and food donations, and that's enabled us to continue to provide food to so many people in need. Are there any questions other than what happened to the carry forward number?
Do you want to read out the carry forward number in case anyone wants to write it in?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Is that the right number there?
Is that the right number?
Oh, it's on there, yes.
Yeah.
See, it's on the PDF. Oh, yes, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, so the total number carried forward that should be at the bottom is 176,766. 176.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right.
So-
Yeah.
Yes, on the copy we checked. We're blaming the computer, I'm sorry about that.
I was wondering how we're spending 1,593 on bus tickets.
Bus ticket, yes, so we purchase bus tickets for people when they go to the food stop. I'm looking at Steve because he's the one that buys the bus tickets.
Shall I explain?
Yes,
Yeah.
Steve can probably explain it better than I can.
And we used to have clients coming to us, and yes, you're absolutely right, we would give clients a bus ticket to go home and or for the next visit. But since we're not doing that anymore, of course, but clients who after receiving their 4 emergency food deliveries from the food hub are encouraged, of course, for future food support to go to the food stop. And one of the ways that we encourage them to do that is that we will offer to pay for the first 4 visits, literally the cost of using the food stop, plus food tickets to get there and to get home afterwards. And that really does help to
That's fine,
people.
that's fine. It was just the fact that we do deliveries now to the client,
Yes.
rather than they come to us needing them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
definitely
Thank
help
you.
people go to the food stop.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's part of trying to encourage people to move on, as we've always said, we're an emergency food bank for deliveries.
Plus, very occasionally, for some folk who have been encouraged to come and pick up their food from the food stock, because they live relatively near, but on, say, along Brighton Road, along the bus routes there, we will actually, again, give bus tickets to them to go home. I always remember the very, very first time we thought about bus tickets, just as an aside, and people were walking from Croydon, all over the place to get to the food hub. And we sort of didn't think a lot more about it, but then we looked out the window one day, we saw these chaps, quite young and sort of reasonably strong and healthy, but being weighed down by the sheer weight of these food bags that they're having to walk back to Croydon with, and their arms getting increasingly longer as if different bags dragged them towards the pavement. And then we found out that TfL, Transport for London, did provide these bus tickets, and they've been a great boon for many people.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, under the income section,
Yes.
so you did speak about getting the monetary value for the food donations. So do you take inflation into account?
Yes.
And how do you do that?
Brian does something.
Okay.
I think there's an annual figure published
Yes.
on how much has increased, and Brian uses that figure.
All right.
We get monthly reports updating our stock values, and Brian always tells us what figures been used over the years, because it's quite interesting how there's been a big jump. We may have similar stock levels in terms of numbers of tins or whatever, tubes of toothpaste, but actually the prices have gone up. So it looks like we have more stock, but actually all it's done is the value of it's gone up because of inflation. Food inflation was running at 9, 10 or more % about a year ago, and it's increasing again, it's picking up again. We had a big jump in our levels of stock. It wasn't necessarily the number of tins on the shelf, it was actually the value.
So we're quite unusual for food banks that Brian did work out a price for each item. Trestle Trust food banks normally just do it by weight, and they go, we've got this ton of food at the year end, and Trestle will publish a price and say it's £2.75 a kilogram, and they use that to work it out. Whereas because we've got detailed stock information, and Brian sat down and worked out an average price for each item, but then he just updates that. I think we just apply percentage. We don't keep, because there's a lot of numbers. It's not of value to the running of the organisation, it's just for account purposes.
Thank you.
Anything else? No? Good.
Right, thanks, Joanna. Right, okay.